Hi, I'm Joe with Knight. I'm going to show you our Teryx speed limit bypass kit. This is the instructions on how to find this video, the switch that replaces the OEM switch in the dash, the cover and knob for that switch, the wire harness, and the LCM, your limit control module, which is like the brains for this whole unit. And now we are going to install this in the Teryx. Okay, first step is going to be to open the hood. Next step, take this plastic piece off. Do that by pushing in here and popping up. Put this off to the side. Now you're going to remove all of these parts in here. You can see a lot of ours are already removed, but the way that these all come out is they just slide.
Okay.
All right,
You mean just take them off of where
right.
they're pushed
So
onto?
for example,
okay.
that's pushed on.
You don't mean remove them, okay.
And just pull them off like that.
Okay.
And this one also slides. There is a zip tie here that you will have to cut in order to get this off. And now this whole thing can be taken and moved off to the side. All right, the next step is going to be to remove this plastic piece here, this whole part here. To do that, you're gonna have to remove the plastic fasteners. There's a few of them on the back side here, and on the front there's screws. So let me show you first though how to remove these plastic fasteners. Find the part here that you can get your screwdriver under, pop that up, and then you can take that out if you want. I usually leave it in. And then you can pop this part out and the whole fastener comes out just like that. Okay, on the front side there's screws holding it in. Remove those screws and then we can take this whole plastic piece off. Next we're going to remove the steering wheel. Flathead screwdriver, plastic part here, carefully 3/4. Okay, next we're going to remove the fasteners that hold the dash on. There are Phillips head screws on the top, and there are the plastic fasteners like we used before along the bottom. Next, we are going to remove the 2 screws over here that hold the computer on and the solenoid, starter solenoid here. Starter solenoid just slips off like that, and then remove these 2 screws. Install the included cable tie. This goes behind this box here that's inside this bag. It goes behind this bag and in front of this plastic part here. It goes in between the 2. So you're going to just slide the cable tie down, then reach underneath, pull the dash forward a little bit if you need to, reach underneath and push the cable tie around so that it comes back up in front of this box here, just like that. Can be, you know, need to do a little maneuvering in order to get it done, but it'll fit in there nice and snug. Make sure that the cable tie comes up from the middle and that you're not pinching any wires down there that come out of this box here. As you saw, I just slipped this cable underneath this bar. I started on the other side, but now it is underneath. You want it to be in this orientation here. Okay, you can loosely pull this together now. Going to put these 2 screws back in right now. Same 2 screws that you just removed. Now I'm going to put the starter solenoid back on. This just slips on like that. Now I am going to install the LCM. This fits right here. There's a groove in this that the cable tie will go onto. Fits right in, holds it right in place. You want to pull this cable tie so that the fastener part of it is lined up with the top of your LCM, just like this. That allows the cable tie to get the most grip on the groove, the built-in groove there. Just pull this hand tight. Make sure that the cable tie is in there. Just tight enough like that, and that is not going anywhere. Then you can cut this. Next, we are going to remove the OEM switch. This right here is the back of it, and this is the wiring that is connected to it. You are going to lift up on this tab here, and at the same time pull on this connector here in order to separate the two. These can be a little difficult, but it will pop out like that. I'm going to now remove the switch. This is the back of the switch here, and it pushes through the dash, through the front of the dash. There is clips on the side that you're going to try to squeeze as you are pushing it through the dash. Just like that. Through the front of the dash, like this. Comes out like this. You can see now where these connectors are that you're going to be trying to squeeze from the other side. Next, we're going to install the switch. If this happened to come out during shipping, just push it back in, and notice the O-ring that should also be on there, just like that. These are the other components that we'll need now for the installation, and this is a 3/32 Allen wrench. So install this just like this. These wires go underneath this tube here, and then the switch goes from the back just like this where the other switch was. So now if you come around to this side, you can see that the notch in your dash needs to line up with the notch on the switch. This notch is in different areas on different bikes, rotated differently for different years and stuff, but no matter what, they all go in together just like that. Next, you'll take this cover plate along with the two shorter screws supplied and put this on. This will also line up with that notch. You'll feel it get caught on that notch, and then snug these screws down. We'll install the lever. And the one longer screw. Now, you can feel if you tightened it too much that it doesn't rotate very comfortably. Simply loosen this screw a little bit so that you get it to rotate smooth and click into each position. This is the back of the switch that you just installed, and you see that the wires go underneath this part of the frame here, and this is the wires that come out of your switch. So next we are going to connect this connector to the connector that was previously plugged into your stock switch. Next, we're going to install the wire harness. Take the main connector, find this hole here that goes under the frame here, slip it through, and then connect this connector to the LCM and push it in until you hear it click, just like that. And this connector here plugs into the wire harness that is coming from the back of your switch. This will plug into this one. Next, I'm going to plug in this plug into this 4-wire connector here. This jumper gets plugged into this one here. That's what those are for. Next, we are going to hook up the ground wire here, the black and yellow. So all the black and yellow wires here. Now that that's done, I'm going to unplug the actuator. This is the wires and the connector that goes to the actuator. It has the same clip on it as the other one I showed you. Lift here as you pull the two apart. This is going to go through that same hole that we put the wire harness before and come up here, and it is going to plug into the main wire harness. Again, there's only one spot that it can plug into, so that's where it goes, just like that. Next, I'm going to plug in this plug from the wire harness, slide it down through that hole that the wire harness came through originally, and plug that into the connector, the other end of the actuator. Okay. Next, you're going to run this wire from our wire harness down, following the same route as the actuator wires. Take these wires that you just routed down here. The white wire is going to go in place of this top plug here. So pull this off of the diff and push this white wire on. And then this that you just unplugged gets plugged into this purple wire here. Like that. This green wire goes where this middle plug on the differential is. So unplug that. Plug in the green wire onto that sensor there. And plug this in to the other side of the green wire.
What is this?
This is the wire that you just removed from the differential, the middle wire.
Okay.
It should have a number 2 label on it, and it goes to the green wire. Okay, so now everything is installed. Use some zip ties, cable ties to neaten everything up and tighten all the wires down. Make sure that everything is secured. We'll put the wheel back on. Next step here, we're going to put the dash back on. Straighten it out. Get it over the steering column there. Get it behind the plastics here. As you see over here. Get it in the right place, like that. Okay. Then put the screws back in that hold it up here, and the plastic fasteners that hold it down on the bottom and the sides over here. We are going to put the steering wheel back in. It's back on, and the steering wheel is splined so you can put it on in any direction, so make sure that you line it up with the wheels so that you get it on so that it is straight when the wheels are straight. The washer back on, the nut back on, and the plastic lines up. There are 4 parts in the back with little holes in them that go on these small plastic shafts inside there. Just line those up, push it back in. Now we are going to put this part back on, and then the plastic rivets, the plastic fasteners go back in, and the screws go in the front. Now that you have this fastened in place, you're going to take this part of the OEM wire harness and install it. Put these back exactly the way that you removed them. Push them all into their places and use the included zip tie to secure the wire harness just like that. Next, put the cover back in after you have installed all of those. Okay, you have that all fastened in there, all done. So close the hood, secure it, and your Teryx Diff Lock Speed Limit Bypass kit is completely installed. Let's go for a ride.